Hello and welcome to the Rhythm and Roots Show with Rohan and Al of the Dublin City Rounders, your weekly dose of ragtime, music hall, bluegrass, country blues, early jazz, western swing, and more. We got live sessions and interviews with guests local and around the world, recorded at Beardfire Studio, Dublin, Ireland. Be sure to like Rhythm and Roots on Facebook, catch up with the podcast on Spreaker.com, and don't forget you can become a Rhythm and Roots Patreon patron today. Now enjoy the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're very, very welcome to our getting towards the end of the year Christmassy special, I suppose.
Yeah, that's the official name for it, I think.
I do believe there is another Friday before Christmas, but sure, we're all in the Christmas spirit here at Rhythm and Roots with Rohan and Al. So where our fridges are full of biscuits and tins and chocolates and what's that other thing? Oh yeah, selection box. We've got a selection box. You could nearly build a selection box pile. You could nearly build a house out of. It's absolutely massive.
We might do that later.
We might. We'll see. We're still that's on the agenda for later on. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little flashback. We've had the privilege and pleasure of working with an incredible amount of really talented and excellent artists throughout the year. And so what we're going to do is we're going to flash back to, I think we've got 10 or 11 live sessions that we've had during the year, and we're going to play those. And of course, we've got a very, very special interview and live session with the one and only Kerry Fearon coming up later in the program as well, who joined us, of course, for the Rhythm and Roots live show there in Dublin, Sunday, the 9th of December. So the criteria, I should explain, there are obviously more than the 10 or 11 artists who came and joined us during the year. There are more than that. But what we've tried to do is, as you probably avid listeners will know, we've played some of the sessions again if they have a record coming out or a gig coming up or something like that. So we've not played some of the artists that we played most recently. And of course, we just picked the ones that we thought would suit the show. But of course, we love them all. They're all absolutely brilliant. And if we get a chance, maybe next week, we can give a little spin to some of the ones we missed out this time. But everyone who joined us on the program this year has a very special place in our hearts, and we're very grateful for them coming in and sharing the program with us, sharing their beautiful music, and we hope to see them again in the new year. So what have we got up first, Al? Can you even see that?
We have got, I can just about see it. It's like one of those eye test things.
Yeah. Can you drive a car?
We've got Moylan.
Very good, very
that
good.
Was, that was a fun one. When was that?
It was very early in the year. I can't remember the exact date, but it was one of the first ones.
One of the first ones.
We did live in studio. And it was one of the first ones we filmed. It may have even been
the second one that we played.
I think it was. We had Siobhan O'Donnell in first, and then we had Moylan come in. And Moylan, of course, has then... We went on to record a single with Moylan Naive, and then she got some great radio airplay on the likes of RTE Radio 1. Big fans of Moylan, we are here. And of course, it all started with this track and performing this track, and she was very... she asked us to perform on it, which was really, really fun. The song is called On the Right Side, and it's absolutely one of our favourites from the year. So do enjoy Moylan with On the Right Side.
It's fine, you're not out of line, and I wouldn't want to waste your time. You're not mine, but I'm kind of inclined to jump the gun when I feel it's right. 'Cause I've been waiting for someone like you to come along and eye me up and tie me down. 'Cause I've been practicing my winking in the mirror. I've got my cheeky smile down to a T. I'd even restricted myself to the left side of the bed, which means that the right side's free. On the right side, get on the right side of me. On the right side, honey. On the right side, get on the right side of me. On the right side. what a thing to say. I must be losing my mind, but I wish you'd go away, or just stop being so damn unkind. 'Cause you're changing me for the worse, and it's a curse, the fact that I will be so keen and try so hard to get you. 'Cause I've been practicing my winking in the mirror. I've got my cheeky smile down to a T. I'd even restricted myself to the left side of the bed, which means that the right side's free. On the right side, get on the right side of me. On the right side, on the right side, honey. On the right side, get on the right side of me. On the right side. On the right side, get on the right side of me. On the right side, on the right side, honey. On the right side, get on the right side of me. On the right side.
Moylan there with On the Right Side, joined by myself there and Al on the bass and guitar. Next up, we have the incredible Donal Clancy. Donal is, of course, is the son of the Irish folk music legend Liam Clancy. Absolutely brilliant that he came and joined us in the studio. This was around the time of the Ranelagh Arts Festival during the, I guess it was towards the end of the summer.
Yeah, I think it was.
And he came in, he played a couple of songs. He did Drill Ye Terriers Drill.
That's the one.
Okay, yeah. And of course he did an original tune of his own, which is the one we're going to hear now in a minute. It's called The Duke's Line. And Al joined him on double bass for this one. So do enjoy Donal Clancy with The Duke's Line.
Did you ever ride the railway down the old Duke's Line? Did you ever take the bathing train back in the summertime? Would you travel on a Sunday to watch a football game? Down from Durra Station on the old steam train. Were you there the day the child was born on the platform in Kilmac? Were you there when the peeler shot the poor boy in the back? Were you there the day King Edward was on the Lismore train? The evicted farmer told him to go back home again. Did you ever ride the railway down the old Duke's Line? Did you ever take the bathing train back in the summertime? Would you travel on a Sunday to watch a football game? And down from Durra Station on the old steam train. Were you there the day the volunteers held up the Durra train? Did you hear the shots ring out when the military came? Do you still hear the sound of the station master's bell? Were you standing near the spot where the gallant rebel fell? Did you ever ride the railway down the old Duke's Line? Did you ever take the bathing train back in the summertime? Would you travel on a Sunday to watch a football game? And down from Durra Station on the old steam train. Were you there that day in Ballyvoyle when the boys came under fire and Jack Cummins he was shot as he climbed o'er the barbed wire? It's been quite a while since they dug up the railway tracks. I don't suppose there's any chance they'll ever put them back. Did you ever ride the railway down the old Duke's Line? Did you ever take the bathing train back in the summertime? Would you travel on a Sunday to watch a football game? down from Durra Station on the old steam train.
Was Donald Clancy there, and Al, you heard giggling at the end,
I think I did, yeah,
like a bewitched little fangirl. Yes,
yeah, something like that.
No,
like a very large and masculine fangirl. Thank you very much.
Well, I guess so. We stick a skirt on you, and we'll see about that. So that, of course,
yeah.
was Donald Clancy there with the Duke's Line, with Al joining him on the double bass, as they call it down in France. Next up, speaking of France, actually, this next guest has virtually nothing to do with France, so I thought that would be a good segue. The next guest and the next session we're about to hear is one from the one and only Patricia Lawler. So Patricia Lawler is someone who was one of our more recent guests later in the year. She is obviously a young female artist who is a songwriter, a performer of some note. I mean, you have to mention it. The fact is, she's only 13, and which is equal parts amazing and frightening, because it really does. It really makes you think
feel
about
old.
Yeah, it makes you feel old, and also it bodes very, very well for the future. And we do definitely hope that she keeps it up and continues to write and perform and develop her art. Although, you know, it's already at a point where if you were completely unaware of her age, you would just immediately go, okay, that's quite cool. And that's putting it mildly. We had the pleasure of performing with Patricia at the Art Cafe recently in Dublin, and of course in the live track here we got to play and perform on the track, guitar and bass. Again, absolutely one to keep an eye out for 2019. This girl can only go from strength to strength, one to keep track of as she continues to write and create music. If this is where she is already, God knows, the sky is the limit for this young lady. So do enjoy this track. This is Patricia Lawler with her original song, Regret. Big fans here at Rhythm and Roots. This is Patricia Lawler with Regret.
You regret it, I can see it in your eyes. Think I couldn't look past your disguise, but you chose not to listen. You chose the same as everyone else. Thought I'd regret it, but clearly that's not the case. Now you're stuck with dreaming of being in a different place. And you and I both know that's not the right place to go. I know it wasn't entirely your fault. No, it wasn't quite your decision, but you chance. You chose not to listen, and I know it wasn't entirely your fault. It wasn't quite your decision, but you had a chance, and you chose not to listen. Oh God, I'm so sorry, 'cause now you're stuck with dreaming of being in a different place.
Absolutely beautiful rendition there of her original tune, Regret, by Patricia Lawler. Next up, we've got another act who we were fortunate enough to share the stage with this year. Can you guess who it is, Al? Who did we gig with this year that we also had on the show? I'm really putting Al on the spot here.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there was a few.
There was definitely a few. Eastside Tavern. I'll give you a clue. Eastside Tavern.
Oh, wait.
We gigged with them there. And
Because I know
we did gig with
two.
Moylan
Okay. There as well.
And Aaron Nestor.
And Aaron Nestor. and... man, why have I just forgotten everything?
How has he forgotten this? Okay, so let me try and give you another clue.
Okay.
We played on stage with them.
Oh, of course. Right. Remedy Club.
The Remedy Club. It's funny that you couldn't remember the Remedy Club.
Kind of. Those words are kind of close.
They have
that
ours
was a great night.
Yeah, the Remedy Club at Eastside Tavern. It was one of the final shows at the Eastside Tavern. We played that show.
That's right, yeah.
Packed it out. Great night. And then it was only a week or so after that that it had ceased to do business. Of course, things moved on from there, and it's now picking up at the newly named Napper Tandies, which used to be Chambers. So the music's still continuing strong, obviously, in Dublin. No shortage of music in Dublin, but sad to see the Eastside Tavern go.
Yeah.
We had some really good nights there during that year.
Yeah, that was good. Was that was Aaron's launch?
Yeah,
the
that was
same
this
year.
year.
It
was.
Wow.
I think that was in around April or something like that. And then we had we filmed the CC Keeper music video in the Eastside Tavern, and we did the great show with the Remedy Club, who we're about to hear from now. Remedy Club, of course, KJ and Aileen, husband and wife duo, absolutely brilliant band. They're going to be heading over to the United States, to Nashville next year, to record their latest album, which, by the way, has a funded campaign going at the moment. So if you do enjoy your alt country, Americana style music, do head over to the Remedy Club's social media and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Find the Fund It and whack a few bob down and get yourself a copy of the CD and give those guys a hand making that dream or a reality. So there will be a record, either way next year from those guys, and hopefully and they're reaching out to their friends and fans and people who enjoy that kind of music to help that along the way. So do get over and check that out. And in the meantime, in fact, if you're a multitasker, you can go over and do that while you listen to them live here with myself and Al once again joining them for this song. This is a great song from their last record. This is a song by the Remedy Club called Big Ol' Fancy.
Big old fancy house, big old fancy life, big old fancy lady sitting by my side. Big old fancy driveway, big old fancy car, big old fancy drinks lined up at the bar. I've been throwing that dice, watching it roll. Now that big old fancy life has got me in a hole. Big old fancy lawyers got them on speed dial. Keep me out of trouble, keep me in the style to which I am accustomed. Maybe not for long, somebody might have smelled that something rotten's going on. I've been throwing that dice, watching it roll. Now that big old fancy life has got me in a hole. Yes, it has. Big old fancy suitcase, carry my fancy clothes. I like to dress real fancy just so everybody knows how important I've become, what my money can buy. But I never stop to wonder, no, I never even ask why. I've been throwing that dice, I've been watching it roll. Now that big old fancy life has got me in a hole. Yes, it has. Big old fancy, big old fancy life. Woo. Big old fancy jet plane, carry me around the world. I got it loaded up with champagne, cocktails and girls, catering to my every whim. They're at my beck and call, but I guess I took my big old greedy eyes off the ball. Cause I've been throwing that dice, I've been watching it roll. Now that big old fancy life has got me in a hole. Yes, it has. Big old fancy, big old fancy life. Big old fancy, big old fancy life. Big old fancy, big old fancy life. Big old fancy, big old fancy life has got me down in the
Yee ha.
As they say in France.
Yes, that'd be more like, no, I'm not going to do it. Next up, speaking of funded projects, Sarah Ryan is someone we had during the year as well. Sarah Ryan's absolutely brilliant. We really enjoyed this session. Wonderful smoky jazz type tune that you're about to hear. But also, what was I going to say? Yeah, she had a very successful funded campaign.
Yeah, she did.
For her debut album. Her EP came out this year and was excellent. Everyone really digged it. And then she managed to raise a great deal of money to work towards her album through Funded as well. And of course, all those people will be getting their delicious, delicious rewards once it all comes to fruition. The song's called Euphoric Recall, and, you know, I think as we listen back to this song, we might just have a euphoric recollection of what it was like working with Sarah.
Hopefully.
So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Ryan, absolutely brilliant. What a voice, and great songwriter too. This is myself and Al and Sarah Ryan with Euphoric Recall.
Every reason to be bright, it pulls me like a light, piercing the wind, dampness in my skin, tears in the back of my eyes, swelling up my insides, flashbacks haunting me, a plague from the dark side pulling me, my soul deep underground, till I hear the hush sound and see. Don't look in front of me, euphoric recall, drowning down the dusty walls, colors of emptiness, words full but meaningless, broken speeches to taint our delicateness, taint the close, and deep down I know this is my way to go. I feel it in my heart and soul. When I close my eyes, demons won't let me hide. Clear away tears, calling me near. Instantly I feel free. Can you hear my wings creak and see? Don't look in front of me, euphoric recall. Drowning down the dusty walls. Colors of emptiness, words full but meaningless, broken speeches to taint our delicateness, euphoric recall. Drowning down the dusty walls. Colors of emptiness, words full but meaningless, broken speeches to taint our delicateness.
Sarah Ryan there with Euphoric Recall. And you know what? That recollection was quite euphoric.
It was indeed.
It was indeed. In fact, maybe that song was a premonition about this moment.
It was better than the whole story of Total Recall, at least. That was a pretty harrowing experience.
Oh,
no, it's a good
definitely.
movie. I'm just saying,
right.
you wouldn't want to
experience
What's
it.
the guy's name?
Quaid?
Quaid? Something like that?
Stop the reactor. Quaid. Is it Quaid?
I think it might be.
Oh, God.
If only we had some sort of database that we could...
Of information that we could
look up
access.
any kind of information.
Listen, okay, look, let's do this.
Okay, we better put this to rest.
I'm whipping out my phone, and we're about to find out the name of guy. I'm going to write this into Google. Name of guy. I've actually written Nain, because I can't spell. Name of
Google
guy.
doesn't care.
It doesn't care. In Total, and I wrote Yotel, that's fine. Recall.
Total Recall, my favorite movie.
Douglas Quaid.
Nice.
10 points to the row.
So,
It's Start the Reactor, isn't it? It's not Stop the Reactor.
I think it starts the reactor.
Also, we're not talking about that terrible remake with Colin Farrell.
No, we're not.
Just the Arnie version. Okay, we've really gotten sidetracked here. Next up, we've got the wonderful Kerry Fearon. She joined us in studio on the very same day, on the morning of the recent Rhythm and Roots live show that we did at Napper Tandy's in Dublin with a lot of great artists. Andrea Booth was there, Runa was there, Fiona O'Farrell was there, and who else? We had another one. Wilbury, another guest on the program. We played him recently, so that's why he's not on this show, but we will, of course, be playing Wilbury again. Kerry is absolutely brilliant. She's one of our favourites. We had the pleasure of performing with her during Dublin Goes Country in the summer, and then we kept in contact. Since then, she's been to Canada, the UK. Yeah. She's been all over the place. In fact, we'll get to that in the interview. But absolutely brilliant, and it was great to finally get to do a little recording with Kerry. So what we're going to do first is have a little listen to the interview we had with Kerry. I'm going to shoot myself over to... shoot myself... I'm going to shoot myself out of the past, back into the past. That's exactly right. And you're going to hear past Rohan speak to past Kerry, and then you're going to hear the excellent live song that we did. So take it away, past Rohan. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are all very welcome to Rhythm and Roots with Rohan and Al. I'm joined in studio today with the fabulous Kerry Fearon. Welcome.
Hi, Rohan. Hi, Al. Thanks for having me.
Oh, not a bother at all. It's always a pleasure. This is the second time we've had you down to Dublin. The first time, of course, was Dublin Goes Country back in July, was it?
That's right. That's right. In the Underground, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun for us. We don't always get to perform those kind of real honky-tonkin' tunes, things like Luxury Liner and songs like that. And also, I suppose as well, from our perspective, very often we have to do the singing and all that biz too. It was great to leave it to you and let you take all the spotlight, and we just get to be these cool, cool is a stretch, but these guys, people, I guess. But yeah, That was really fun, and we get to replicate it and build on it tonight. Obviously, by the time this airs, the poor people who have missed the show will have missed the show, but we've been telling people to go to it, so hopefully they'll have caught it anyway. At Napper Tandy's, you're going to join us for a few tunes tonight.
I am, and I can't wait.
What? I can't wait. I thought you said in a cowboy hat, and I'm like...
Well, yeah, there'll be that too, absolutely.
That is also true. You will be in a cowboy hat. So... Gosh, there's a lot to get through. You've been pretty busy since we last saw you. You've been over to Canada and back for the Country Music Awards.
That's right. I was over for Country Music Week in Hamilton, Ontario. So that was a pretty busy week. It was interesting. It was very, very interesting. And I came across a lot of brand new artists that I haven't heard of before. And it was interesting to see who the CCMA were sort of pushing and... what their take on country music is right now in Canada.
Yeah. And you said probably the highlight of it was the Legends section, yes?
Oh, yes, I went to the Legends show. It was absolutely fantastic. In fact, the girl who hosted the Legends show, her name is Beverly Mahood, and she originally comes from Belfast. And I didn't know anything about her until that night. And she sings country herself. She was absolutely fantastic.
And did you get a chance to meet her? Or?
I did. I
met
her, and also it was lovely. It was really, really lovely. But that show was fantastic. Terry Clark was performing on it, and Michelle Wright, but Russell DeCarl, oh my God, amazing stuff.
Brilliant. So that's unreal experience to get that first-hand, I suppose, and I suppose as a performer, as an artist yourself, picking up a few tricks and things like that, studying closely.
Absolutely.
So you do have a record out. It was recorded a little while back, but it's finally made its way to listeners around the world. The album is called Honky Tonk Girl, and the first single from it, is it the first single? If the Devil Don't Want Me?
No, it's actually the first single was actually Storms Never Last.
Oh right,
yeah.
From a little while back, yeah.
Yes, so it actually did really, really well for me. So it was just a different sort of walk and bass rendition of the old Jessie Coulter Waylon Jennings track, and it did really, really well. But I took it out a good while before I actually released the album, because I started recording the album about 2 years ago, and it only actually came out there at the end of July. So.
But sure, it was great to have a single out there working for you in the lead up to the album, and then you've got another single there ready to go, to coincide with it, and it's been doing great. It's been getting 4-star reviews. There was a great 3.5-star review in Country Music People, which I know you're very proud of as well. I love the record, and it seems to be something that. For a debut record in particular, people are really picking up on it, really enjoying it, and your fan base is growing in a really... I often see the lovely comments and things like that on your social media. It's really good that you've got that organic... human element, that people are following your progress and enjoying the journey.
Well, I'll try anyway. I'm not sure who was following me, but I'll try anyway. So, no, but I'm really, really enjoying it all. It's all new to me, and as I said, this is my first album, so it is interesting. Brilliant.
And as well as, particularly considering it's your first record, you've been over and back to the UK a number of times, up to Scotland. Would you say 3 times? Yep,
Scotland 3 times this year so far. Yep.
Wow.
Yours not over yet.
Oh God. And they'll have to give you, special the key to the country or something with this stage. And you were doing the shows with Kelly Willis in the UK.
That's right. That was back in late July.
Well, that was not long after, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, after I'd met you, and then the album had literally just come out, so I had copies with me to bring on Kelly's tour, and I'm a huge fan, so I was totally fangirling the whole tour. So but she was just amazing. So it was fantastic.
And you shared the stage with Marty Haggart as well, and Thomas Gabriel, for those who don't know, Johnny Cash's eldest grandson.
That's right.
You're performing with him as well. And you had him on the show, or how did that work?
Yeah, I had him on my TV show. So Thomas was over. I'll tell you why he was over. He was over because it was 55 years since Johnny Cash's Irish tour back in 1963. And Thomas was kind of like retracing the steps of that, but he was also doing extra Irish dates too.
Yeah.
And it's also 15 years since Johnny's death.
Wow.
So Thomas was over to promote his own music, but as well as that, he was singing some Johnny Cash songs as well, and he sounds remarkably like Johnny.
Wow.
So that was a fun experience, and he will be back, I think, possibly October next year, so watch this space.
Excellent. And I suppose it's... I'll never forget the night Johnny Cash died. Do you have a recollection? Do you remember when it happened?
Oh, vaguely.
No, I see. I was on my way with my dad to a gig that we were playing at. 15 years. I would have been 17 or whatever, 16, 17, and we got to the gig and everyone was saying it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And this was, I guess, it was kind of the early days of the internet. It wasn't as there was no smartphones, things like that.
That's
So
right.
it had come over news and filtered through, and it was. It felt monumental, and we did the show. It was kind of a country punk band, that we were kind of playing with, very cow punk Americana kind of thing, with a big 8-foot cowboy that had puppets and everything in the band, and so I think we probably did Folsom Prison or something like that as well as on the night. But it's great that he's keeping the legacy going there, but also at the same time differentiating himself. Thomas Gabriel there. Tamara Stewart, you did some stuff.
Yeah, in the middle of the Thomas Gabriel tour, which was happening in Ireland,
Yeah.
I flew over to Kent.
As you do.
Yes, as you do. And I did a wonderful gig in this amazing venue. It was so cool. You have to go there sometime. The Dancing Dog Saloon. And Tamara Stewart,
Woof.
I had met her in Nashville earlier this year when
Yeah.
we went to the Tin Pan South Festival. She met us for lunch one day, and she was a lovely girl. She's actually Australian, but
Yeah.
she's based in Nashville, and she would work a lot with Ben Glover from County Antrim as well, actually. But she's a fantastic Americana singer-songwriter, so you have to check her out. But I got to do a gig with her in Kent, and then I flew back the next day to go to the Spirit Store in Dundalk and open up again for Thomas Gabriel.
Fantastic. Look at this. Living the life, the jet-setting life.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at your little travel case there across the room there, and it's got all the stickers on it and everything. It's
I'm collecting.
Yeah. We'll have to get some Rhythm and Roots stickers that you can put on
Yeah.
But I mean, you've come down to Dublin just for the show today, which we're so pleased that you've made the time to come on our show here, and then of course live later on.
delighted.
But of course you have your own shows. You have your own radio show, Homegrown Hour on Downtown Country, and on the televisual box. You've got Kerry's Gold Country on Keep It Country TV. It's on Sky 376. It's on Freesat, and you can also watch it online.
Yep.
And it's a great little show, and it's wonderful, I think, as well, that you open it up a little bit in terms of the kind of music you play, which is really nice, really refreshing, and encompasses the broadness of the kind of classic country, Americana, what people are doing with old-timey and bluegrass and different styles that aren't also always necessarily what people think of when they think of country, which is really cool. What are your plans for the show over the next little while? How did it come about as well initially?
It was actually a man that lives in Newry. He was doing a show on the channel, but he had done a couple of videos for me, and he just spoke to the CEO one day, and he's like, "What about Kerry doing a show?" And he just very casually said, "Yeah, why not?" So we just started from there, and a lot of the time we are travelling with the show because we would go to maybe Dublin or Belfast and interview live guests, like who have we had recently? Courtney Marie Andrews, we had her. Through the year we had Albert Lee, we even had songwriters Gallagher and Lyle. We've had so many, Marty Stewart, and it's just been a lot of fun. And every week I try and show a live guest every week, and every week as well I'd show at least one Irish artist, so singer-songwriters, and a lot of people that you've recorded here. I would like to, I like to showcase them, because there's a new audience for them.
Absolutely.
And I will show as well at least one UK artist too, because my show, believe it or not, has more of an English and Scottish following.
Wow, there you go.
So they're interested. They seem to be more interested in the Americana side of things, and so
brilliant.
It's kind of interesting.
Well, it's great that you've developed that little audience there, that niche, the kind of stuff that you're doing.
I love doing it.
Yeah, well, that's it. But that's it. I mean, look, you've got that great, fun, bright, bubbly personality that I think really suits it as well. Do you know what I mean? There'd be no point watching it and going, this week, I don't know, whatever. Who cares who's on? I don't think you would have lasted long.
No.
So, into the future now, in the immediate future, you've got a show coming up at the Sunflower Bar in Belfast. This is a honky-tonk Christmas extravaganza night on the 22nd of December.
Yep, that's right.
And who was at the High Lonesome and a few people?
Yeah, the High Lonesome, they host the Honky Tonk Night there once a month in the Sunflower Bar in Belfast, and it's a great venue and it's a great night, and I sang with them on their last one and it was absolutely brilliant. Loved doing it. I got to do a song I never get to do, Contrarian Western, and the one at Christmas they'll have more than just one special guest, and we have to sing some Christmas songs as well as some honky tonk stuff, so it's
with
a
little bit of a country feel, I presume.
Yeah, country Christmas, so.
Nice. So and then after that into the new year, you've got a load of stuff. You said Ags Connolly might be coming back or something going on with him?
Yep, Ags is planning on coming back in April time with Leo Rondo from Texas, and he's pretty cool as well. So I'm hoping to do a few shows with them, but I'll keep you posted on that.
Brilliant. God, I mean, there's so much we could talk about, but we do have to start winding it up. The lucky people who are listening today are going to get to hear this is basically the first time we've ever played this song live, and a song that I presume you've never played it live.
No, I've never.
So tell people what the song is and who it's by.
Okay, well, it's by a lady that I'm a huge fan of. I got to meet her and interview her for my show actually last year when she was over for C2C. Her name is Margot Price, and this song is called This Town Gets Around.
This Town Gets Around. Absolutely brilliant. So do keep an eye out for Kerry. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. Kerry Fearon. She's on the telly. She's on the radio. She's all over the place in a good way. Usually you say someone's all over the place and it's not a very nice thing to say, is it?
Well, it's debatable.
So do enjoy This Town Gets Around, and do get around to keeping up with all of Kerry's adventures. And thanks so much again for coming in today.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant.
It gets hard to tell a real friend from a fake one. So many promises, favors, and lies. Small southern city wears a big disguise. Even I too have been known to wear one. Well, as the saying goes, it's not who you know, but it's who you blow that'll put you in the show. And if that's not the case, I hear you pay 'em. But I don't come easy and I'm flat broke, so I guess it's me who gets the joke. Maybe I'd be smarter if I played dumb. I can't count all the times I've been had. Now I know much better than to let that make me mad. I don't let none of that get me down. What I've found, this town gets around. Well, the very first manager I had, he was old enough, he could have been my dad. Took me out for drinks and talk the big talk. He said, darling, sign on the dotted line. Kiss my cheek and drink this wine. If you work on me, then you can just walk. I can't count all the times I've been had. Now I know much better than to let that make me mad. I don't let none of that get me down. What I've found, this town gets around. Get around, boys. When I first came here, the streets were paved with gold, and you can walk that road. I've been told, but I won't put out or be controlled. I don't write the shit that gets bought and sold. Ask any man, he might know, who used to live on Music Row. But that was then, this is now, and he told me this town gets around. What I found, this town gets around.
The wonderful Kerry Fearon there with This Town Gets Around. Do get online, check her out. She's incredibly active and really, really fun on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And as you heard there, of course, she does Kerry's Gold Country and so much more. She's doing the radio and she's gigging around. Do go grab a copy of her new record as well, Honky Tonk Girl. So, without any further ado, let's move on to our next flashback. The next person we are about to play, his name is Neil Toner. He's a stalwart a legend of the Irish music scene in general. He's been playing Dublin and all over the world in Ireland for the last 30, 40 years, long time.
Yeah.
And the quality of his music and him as a person is just, it's just spotless. He's great to talk to. He's a wellspring of information on the music industry and songwriting and the history of music. And it's always been a pleasure to have him on the show. Neil, of course, he always finds his way over to the United States. He does a lot of co-writing and recording in the United States. He had a song featured in Grand Theft Auto 5, which is the biggest selling video game of all time. Great guy, and as you're about to hear, a great musician. So let's have a little listen. This is one of Neil's original compositions. He told me during the interview, told us that he was having a conversation with a friend, and I think they were asking him which Beatle would you like to be, and he said, I think I'd rather be a Rolling Stone. And so of course it's as is so often the case, a moment of inspiration, a song title can birth an entire song, and this is the song. It's called I'd Rather Be a Rolling Stone. This is Neil Toner.
1, 2, 3. I'd rather be a rolling stone than a wallflower in the bar. 'Cause flowers need the light for life, stones prefer the dark. My life might be a solo, but I'd rather be alone. All in all, I think I'd rather be a rolling stone. I could settle down with you and make a home sweet home, with flowers in the garden of a loving twilight zone. 2 up, 2 down, all mod cons, fancy mobile phone. But all in all, I think I'd rather be a rolling stone. All in all, I think I'd be a rolling stone. Rolling rambler, I can make it on my own. All in all, I think I'd rather be a rolling stone. To an ancient Hindu poem, or a top 10 million seller for the Prince of Rock and Roll. Compose a country classic for a country queen enthroned. But all in all, I think I'd rather be a rolling stone. All in all, I'd rather be a rolling stone. If all the dreams of my house of cards came crashing to the ground, I could make another life and roam the world around. I could be the walking boss, or I could play the clown. But all in all, I think I'd rather be a rolling stone. on my own. But all in all, I think I'd rather be a rolling stone. All in all, I'd rather be a rolling stone. All in all, I'd rather be a rolling stone.
The excellent Neil Toner there with Rather Be a Rolling Stone. Next up, we're going to go from one kind of, I guess, country bluegrass legend to another. Earlier in the year, we had the pleasure of welcoming into the studio during her tour here in Ireland, Gretchen Peters and husband Barry Walsh. Absolutely stunning music, and we were able to get some great video footage as well of those two. It was a difficult enough task to kind of focus on filming these guys while they were performing such wonderful music. They were in and out in between interviews and sessions on RTE radio and doing their show in town. And
we got them before RTE.
We did. It was excellent. And before anyone, I think, was someone else?
I think they did. The first thing they did when they got here was pretty much come on this show.
Yeah, it was
I
wonderful.
think they were
got
straight out of the
plane.
airport.
You're right. Straight out of the plane, straight into the studio, and with a great interview. And of course, Gretchen is she's been around a long time, but she's written music with the likes of Martina McBride, Etta James, Trisha Yearwood, Patty Loveless, George Strait, and Shania Twain, Neil Diamond. And she's co-written songs with the likes of Bryan Adams. So as you can see, they're quite a list. She is I believe she's a Nashville Hall of Fame inductee, and God knows how many time Grammy Award nominee. Is like 5 times or something. It's crazy.
But who keeps count at this point? When you've got that many.
So it was brilliant to get her in the studio, and you're going to hear why now. She did 2 songs, original compositions, but the song that we have chosen is a little song that she's performing here with her husband Barry. This is "Disappearing Act" by Gretchen Peters.
Well, I used to be something back in my prime. Had myself a pretty good time. By the looks of me, you'd never know it today. Had a ring on my finger at 24. We had 40 good years, then 10 more. He got sick and he died on Christmas Day. Well, I lost 2 babies, kept 1 more. Lost him too when he went to war. And all his daddy could say is it'll make him a man. He did 2 tours of duty out in Iraq. He came home, but he didn't come back. And that's something that I'll never understand. Good things come, good things go. If it lifts you up, it'll lay you low. People leave and they don't come back. Life is a disappearing act. I've seen all kinds of women, all kinds of men. Ain't a lot that you can call friend. Most things don't turn out like you think. You can travel the world, you can sail the seas, you can yes sir, no sir, pretty please. Still you end up crying at your kitchen sink. Good things come, good things go. If it lifts you up, it'll lay you low. People leave and they don't look back. Life is a disappearing act. this dark cocoon, and I'm wondering if Jesus is coming soon. And if he is, he better make it quick. 'Cause Jesus and me, we got us a deal. He does the miracles, I spin the wheel. But before I go, I got one last trick. Good things come, good things go. You'll be taking your bows before you know. People leave and they don't come back. Life is yeah. Good things come, good things go. If it lifts you up, it'll lay you low. People leave and they don't come back. This is my disappearing act. This is my disappearing act. Ooh.
The squeeze box. What's the other? Accordion, that's right.
Accordion, yeah.
So, accordion to my notes here.
Common instrument among the Rito tribe.
The Rito tribe. Yes, a little lore there for the Zelda enthusiasts in the audience. And accordion to my notes. This was the joke I started before.
Yeah, I heard you start it. I felt bad for interrupting that because it was
so good.
Such a classic joke.
Well, you see, a lot of like real clever people who really understand humor, what they'll do is if a joke kind of dies off, they'll just leave it.
Yeah.
Not me. I bring it back. This is the joke I've tried thrice now.
Okay, go for it.
Accordion to my notes, because Barry was playing the accordion there before. Steo Wall is next. Steo
the
Wall,
one and only rapper we've had on this.
I mean, it is true. No, it's the only rap that was performed
a rapper, but he did
during
rap
during this. Yeah, absolutely right. And what a year this guy's had. Absolutely unbelievable. Since we had him in the studio, I mean, the last thing I saw, he had a big write-up in RTE Culture. He's been all over the radio. I think of the videos that we've posted on YouTube in particular, his video live session has got more views than any of them. On Facebook, it's a little more spread out, but on YouTube, Steo is way up there, and he's a great guy, great music, and the likes of Damien Dempsey, who featured on his record, agree. So without any further ado, let's have a little listen to Steo Wall. It's bound to be a big year next year, and I'm sure we'll have Steo back in the studio in 2019. This is Steo Wall with Where I'm From.
Where I'm from is the rule of the gun, and you can die young, that's the rule of thumb. In a drug slum where nobody ever cares, selling out their dreams for needle shares. Where I'm from is the rule of the gun, and you can die young, that's the rule of thumb. In a drug slum where nobody ever cares, selling out their dreams for needle shares. Dublin's going downhill, it makes me sick. There's people on Thomas Street trying to get a fix. Dealer tries to fill them with that bullshit talk. It's deadly, man, it's brown and it's on the rock. You get it back for 17, 2 for 30. Now you're trying to persuade to a judge and jury. It's nothing, only your life is the fee. Cause if you're not addicted, your first hit is free. Here's a weapon, and it's easy to make. It's a matchstick in between 2 razor blades. Gives you nice Mars bar on the side of your face. To a junkie, it's just another court case. People jumping counters, people robbing tills, people selling cocaine, heroin and pills. This is what they have to do to pay the bills in our cities where drugs kill. Where I'm from is the rule of the gun, and you can die young, that's the rule of thumb. In a drug slum where nobody ever cares, selling out their dreams for needle shares. Where I'm from is the rule of the gun, and you can die young, that's the rule of thumb. In a drug slum where nobody ever cares, selling out their dreams for needle shares. No one cares, dreams for needle shares. No one cares, dreams for needle shares. Well, I remember Dublin City in the rare old times. It was pretty witty with a rare old vibe, and now it's nitty gritty full of gang and crime, and it's kinda sad my city's lost her shine. I remember when it used to be a fight instead of a bloody knife, and it used to be a knock instead of the killer clock. Now it's stuck and run for cover cause they're shooting up the block all around the clock. Tick tock never stops. Drugs infiltrated and penetrated and devastated generations mourn because they never made it, or failed, never realised their dreams. Money making schemes, it seems that's all we're seeing. We glorify our criminals, putting them in a film, and every young fella growing up thinks he's a general. One way trip to prison is what he's given, what he's living, what he's paying. Mom and dad was a heroin fiend, never got affection for crew to be affected. Crime for the life of crime, no crime when he's arrested. Self-fulfilling prophecy, prophet of the hypocrisy. Never gonna stop until they're reading out his eulogy. You and me, please. You and me, please. You and me, please. Stop this disease because our city's on its knees. From the sea to the trees, can't see the woods for the trees, please. Where I'm from is the rule of the gun, and you can die young, that's the rule of thumb. In a drug slum where nobody ever cares, selling out their dreams for needle shares. Where I'm from is the rule of the gun, and you can die young, that's the rule of thumb. In a drug slum where nobody ever cares, selling out their dreams for needle shares. No one cares, dreams for needle shares. Someone care, tell me, is there anyone there? Someone care, dreams for needle shares. Where I'm from is the rule of the gun, and you can die young, that's the rule of thumb. In a drug slum where nobody ever cares, selling out their dreams for needle shares. Where I'm from is the rule of the gun, and you can die young, that's the rule of thumb. In a drug slum where nobody ever cares, cause they're selling out their dreams for needle shares.
The excellent Steo Wall there with Where I'm From. Next up, we've got Alice Linsky.
We sure do. Not Alan Linsky,
No,
not to be confused with...
a bit of backstory there. When we had Alice in the studio earlier in the year, we were speaking with her, and I happened to call her Alan about
like 3
6 times
yeah, maybe so.
during the interview, and she was just looking at me like, what on earth are you doing? And I had no idea I was calling her Alan. It hadn't quite clicked with me yet. And then I realized, and we began the interview again. And I do apologize profusely to Alice for calling you Alan. Since then, thankfully, we have mended that rocky moment there, and she was brilliant to appear at the Underground for us. We booked her in to do the Dublin Goes Country Festival in Dublin, where she was excellent.
Is that where the Dublin Goes Country Festival is?
The Underground.
Really?
What?
Dublin?
Oh, is that what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, it's been a long episode.
Dublin Goes Country in Paris, France.
That would be weird. Third France reference of the show as well. Let's see how many more we can
Shout
get up
out to
there.
France.
Yeah. Peace or whatever. I don't know. What do you say? Prayer. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, Alice Linsky, she had a great year as well.
Yeah.
She had a couple of, I think she put out 3 singles, all of which just about, I think, got playlisted on RTE, radio, and everyone really digging Alice. I think she played a great gig in the Wexford Spiegel tent with The Stunning. So, you know, massive show there for her, which was absolutely brilliant. And we are hoping to catch up with Alice, obviously, in the new year and see what she's up to. I'm sure it'll be another big year for Alice. So without any further ado, God, I've said that a lot this episode. I've really got to find something else.
There's been a lot of ado as well.
Yeah, there's been heaps of ado. I'm like 90% ado.
Yeah.
All right, without any further of it, Let's listen to Alice Linsky with Red-Handed Woman.
I met this cool kind of guy. He bought me drinks, so we talked all night. He had too many, he fell to the floor. The barmaid then she kicked him out, so I followed him into town. He tried to kiss me, but I said no more. He said, the problem with you, dear, you can't let down your hair. I'm just a guy looking for some fun. But he grabbed my hands, he pulled me close. He tried to pull off all my clothes. So for him, I pulled out my gun. 'Cause I'm a red-handed woman and I'll tell no lie. I will not be overpowered by a guy. He wouldn't listen, so I shot him dead. Witnesses say I put the gun against his head. But the juries and sheriffs, well, they've set me free. 'Cause it couldn't be that this murder scene's by a little girl like me. Well, 2 weeks on, I'm good and free. Set the whole damn town staring at me. They know what I did, dear, but it's all fun and games. The witnesses, they know the deal. I'll get to them and they know I will. They know to stay hush and forget my name. They say the problem with you, dear, you can't let down your hair. He's just a guy looking for some fun. But he grabbed my hands, he pulled me close. He tried to pull off all my clothes. So for him, I pulled out my gun. 'Cause I'm a red-handed woman and I'll tell no lie. I will not be overpowered by a guy. He wouldn't listen, so I shot him dead. Witnesses say I put the gun against his head. But the juries and sheriffs, well, they've set me free. 'Cause it couldn't be that this murder scene's by a little girl like me.
Alice Linsky there with Red-Handed Woman. It's about killing men.
It is, yeah.
So next up, speaking of men, we've got some men in the next act. Strings and Things. Reminds me of Cheese Strings and Things.
Kinda, yeah. Cheese string. This isn't the first time we've mentioned cheese strings.
Is it not?
No. We actually sang the Cheese Strings theme song a little while back.
We did. Bend me, shape me, any way you... Is it bend me, shape me?
Something like that. String me, stretch me any way you please. Yeah.
As long as you eat me, 'cause I'm all natural cheese.
I bet you're glad you heard that again.
So that's the cheese string song. Imagine just putting a cheese string in a pot with a bit of milk and melting it. That'd be disgusting.
That'd be weird. How did you even think of that?
I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of like what you do with like cheese sauce. So
no,
it's not
true.
necessarily bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A little bit of flour, but it just seems like such a waste. Have you ever seen someone just eat a cheese string?
I have.
Like an idiot.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Or bite it from the end.
Yeah,
Without
it completely defeats the purpose because cheese strings aren't good.
No,
they're just
disgusting. They're fun
because you can pull them apart.
Just like people.
Yeah.
Sorry,
We've really gone off topic. So, Strings and Things.
Oh, yeah, Strings and Things. Great lads. Absolutely brilliant band. I expect a big year from them in 2019. Let's have a listen to Strings and Things. This is We Ask How.
1, 2, 3, 4. sink beneath the waves. Tell them all of our best days. As we look at the stars, it seems that no man nor beast can march from afar. From pale your smell, it takes me back to the day the sun turned black. The ground we stood on could not be relied on, and we were controlled by strings. Day or night, cartoon or play, which one first will go away? The sands, they're all back now, and we ask how. We ask how. Memories of time gone by, 10 years on, but I won't cry. The land where we built our house, well, it shines no more until we ask how. Promises, they're all lies. The queen, she knew what she saw in our eyes. One more, could we tread for black winters across the shores to hell, or to England seems fair? Day or night, cartoon or play, which one first will go away? The sands, they're all back now, and we ask how. We ask how. Flame, this is the final game. Here we are now. The only crossing is the sea. Now in thousands we all flee. We ask how, we ask how. Yeah, we ask how, we ask how. Day or night, cartoon or play, which one first will go away? The sands, they're all back now, and we ask how. We ask how.
Great song there from the lads, from Strings and Things.
I wonder if they ever found out how.
I don't know. It's a real. It really ends on a cliffhanger there, doesn't it? We've just. Oh God! Don't listen to us. The next song and the final song of our Christmassy special, our look back at the year of guests here on Rhythm and Roots. Like I said, if we were to do an exclusive and exhaustive look back, it would take longer than we're allowed to continue doing the show for. So, I mean, we're already 15 minutes over time, which is long enough as it is. But also, we will be sure to air a few more of the greats from the year in our next program, and anyone who didn't air, it probably just means that we played your song a little bit too recently. So we're going to finish things off with what, again, I think it was probably the most popular video on Facebook we put out during the year. Absolutely killer song. This is Donna Dunn and Philip Doyle of Crack and Roll, another band.
Yeah, is it or is
it
it?
might be. Crack and roll is, I think, crack and roll. Like rock and roll.
Yeah.
But anyway, crack and roll. Philip Doyle of Diablo Records and the Klingons. He's a legend of the psychobilly scene. So it was a real pleasure to get to have him in the studio, and of course Al play alongside. And Donna Dunn is absolutely unreal. Great vocalist, great personality. Really cool person to hang around with as well. There was zero time to prepare for this session, so Al just
I didn't get like any warning about playing on this, so I had to learn these two songs in like a few minutes, and this one's kind of tricky.
Yes,
I'm actually surprised I managed to. Yeah.
No, you're supposed to be like, it was so easy.
Oh, yeah. No, I could do that. I could do that again. I wish no one would, prepare me for sessions.
Yes.
But yeah, it was awesome to get to play with those guys. Like, I've been listening to the Klingons since I was about 15, so that was fun.
Yes. No, really, really good session. Really enjoyed this one. And so for myself and...
which is
Al, yes. We're going to say good night. We won't wish you, look, Merry Christmas anyway, but you might hear from us if you're an avid listener one more time before the day itself. Wishing you all a wonderful Christmas. Thank you so much to all the guests over the year who've shared the studio space with us. We've met some incredible people, witnessed some incredibly talented musicians, and we can't wait to see what next year brings, particularly starting to air on Near FM from the 11th of January. And a huge thank you to the listeners and the people who've supported us on Patreon as well. You're absolutely brilliant. Thanks for tuning in, and we will hopefully have many more adventures in 2019. So take it easy and enjoy Crack and Roll with The Early House. Good night.
Good night.
It's 4 in the morning. I drank too much wine. I'm over the limit, but I'm on cloud 9. I seen Johnny McClurk on the Halfpenny Bridge, and we both know what was to come. I said to Johnny, where will we go? There's an early house on Cable Street, I think you should know. Johnny and I waltzing down the road with 2 cans of Dutch Gold, 2 shots of whiskey, 3 shots of rum. Drinks are rolling, it's so much fun. 2 shots of whiskey, 3 shots of rum. Drinks are rolling. It's so much fun. Barry Malone walks through the door. He said, give me a Guinness, and we all shouted more. More! The early house gets louder, and the smoke fills the room, while we all start to sing this tune. 2 shots of whiskey, 3 shots of rum. Drinks are rolling, it's so much fun. 2 shots of whiskey, 3 shots of rum. Drinks are rolling. It's so much fun. Give me a shot of whiskey, a shot of rum, and then I promise we'll be done. There's an early house on Capel Street that I love so much.
2, 3, 4.
2 shots of whiskey, 3 shots of rum. Drinks are rolling, it's so much fun. 2 shots of whiskey, 3 shots of rum.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Fun, 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 fun.